And before you decide to give, the Better Business Bureau says it will pay off to do a little homework. And Alexandra sat down with the Better Business Bureau's Dan Hendrickson, who has some tips.
Well, Dan, if you want to give above and beyond the charities that you regularly support, what would you say is the most important thing people keep in mind this time of year?
I think doing your research, looking for charities on give.org, charities that are well run, that meet BBB's wise giving standards. Obviously, we'd like to see at least 65% of donations reach the intended recipient. So you want to make sure that there are some benchmarks there that are followed and that the charity is well run and that you can be comfortable knowing that the donation you're giving is going to reach the people you're looking to help.
And what would be probably the most important tip in terms of making sure that the charity you think you're giving to is the charity that you want?
Verifying. I think watch out these days too for phone calls where people are saying, well, I'm with this organization. That's easy to say, unfortunately. There's too many people out there trying to defraud you. So if you get a phone solicitation saying they're with a charity, you can listen to the pitch. You can say, sure, send me some information. But if you're looking to support that charity, go directly to the charity's website, do your research there, and make the donation online with a credit card.
Gone are the days, always a little dicey, but gone are the days when you really can give any sort of personal information over the phone, correct?
Yeah, there's just too many bad folks out there looking to collect your personal or financial information. So we always say never give your credit card information out over the phone.
Okay. You know, in this year there were so many natural disasters, hurricanes, floods, wildfires, and I think there's a lot of people that would like to give to those that are victims of those natural disasters. Is there anything to be careful of, or how to know when it's, you know, another country or perhaps you know, a state out west, and you don't know exactly the right organization? How do you find the most effective way to get your money?
Usually, you know, Googling, you can find some really good charities. Google the disaster, and quite often sources like the Red Cross will have lists of charities that have on-the-ground resources, a system in place to distribute the goods and money they receive, to make sure that the recipients get it quickly, and to make sure there's no lost money in the overhead as far as people having to, sometimes one charity only has like a supporting role, so they have to then turn over the money to another organization. You can sometimes kind of go directly to the source by finding those big charities that have the resources to get the goods out there and the money as quickly as possible to the victims of these tragedies.
And a final quick question for you, Dan, is there any don'ts of charitable giving in terms of items maybe that you think might be helpful but really end up costing the charity?
We recommend contacting the charity if you're looking to give blankets or clothing, what have you. There are times a year they might need those things. There's other times they may not need them at all. So they will tell you, look, we don't need that, but maybe you could bring this, just so as not to bury them in items that they can't really use and may have to pay to dispose of.
All right.